Hey guys, I am coming to you from my hotel room in Vegas. I'm here for the Inman Connect conference in what month is it? August of 2022. It's been a great week. I should probably introduce myself too. I'm Ashley Harwood. I run Move Over Extroverts, a training and coaching company for introverted real estate agents. I'm here at Inman speaking for the very first time. It's a big deal. I'm very excited. It went well. It was yesterday, and I have gotten to meet some of you guys who have been in my network online, and we finally got to meet in person. So that was really special. So, because of where I'm at and what I'm doing this week, I thought it would be really relevant to make this week's video all about tips for introverts at conferences. Because I know it can be a little intimidating to think about being in a space with thousands, potentially tens of thousands of people. It's a lot. So I have a few tips to share. I'm going to cobble them together from memory. I didn't write down any notes, but some of my favorite tips. Okay, tip number one, get your own hotel room. Unless you're sharing with a spouse or a romantic partner, um, get your own hotel room. Like, spend the money. It's worth it to have not only your own privacy, but also your own, I don't want to say energy field because that makes it sound really like ethereal and woo-woo, but your own space to be able to be quiet and be alone when you need it and not have to coordinate with another person. So I know it's pretty common in the industry to share hotel rooms. It saves some money, but if you can swing it, get your own space. It'll make a difference. All right, tip number two, order groceries to your hotel room. So this is one of my favorite things to do. There are a couple different grocery delivery places depending on where you are in the country. Here in Vegas, I like Vons because I do not have an Amazon Prime account anymore. So I can't order from Whole Foods, but I like Vons. They did a pretty good job. There are a couple things that were out of stock, but that's okay. So water, breakfast stuff, snacks. The reason this is important for us introverts is because our energy is a very precious resource. We don't want to have to spend it on things that aren't super important, So we want to spend it networking. We want to spend it learning. We don't want to spend it having to walk to the elevator, go down 50 flights, have to walk outside, have to find a grocery store. Maybe you have to get in an Uber to go to the grocery store, have to come back, have to be out in the world navigating. It's just not, sorry, my nose is itchy. It's not a good use of energy. And all of these tips, by the way, I speak from years of experience of going to conferences and learning and trial and error. And oh my God, one of the best things is just having supplies here in the room. So you don't have to leave unless you want to leave, and that's your choice. But you're not forced to leave to be like, oh my God, I need calories and I can't stomach the idea of spending $20 on a Snickers bar from the mini bar, it's crazy. Anyway, so that's tip number two, have groceries delivered. Tip number three, for the women, wear flats. That might sound obvious, but wear flats. Again, it comes down to energy, like expending energy where you don't need to. A good alternative, if you do want some extra, inches, is a nice wedge. That's kind of an in-between half measure, but I'd rather be comfortable and not be completely exhausted by, teetering around in stilettos all day long. Any convention center is huge. It's going to be a lot of walking. Which leads me to my next tip, which is when you're in the convention center and it's all the people, it's masses of people. Now, Inman's about 2,000 people, right? Keller Williams conferences are like 15,000. So it's much bigger. Some of the big brands have these huge conferences and it's like a sea of people and it can be a lot. Um, so my next tip here is to go up or down a level. Usually a convention center will have multiple levels and the majority of activities happen all on one level, right? So if you need to find a quiet spot to just either take a phone call or simply sit there by yourself and breathe and get away from the sea of people, find an escalator and go up or down one floor, and you'll usually find some open space and some open couches. It's typically how that goes, right? My next tip is, what do I want my next tip to be? I'm drawing a blank. Maybe this is a two-part video. Oh, I know. Okay. My last tip. Make sure that you schedule yourself a day off after the conference. Don't go right back to work. I spoke with someone who I met last night and she's like, oh, today's Thursday. She's like, today's Friday. So yesterday was Thursday. She was leaving last night and going back home. And she was like, oh, I have to, go back to work. I have to work on Friday. And like, dude, take the day off. Like, I don't care who you are, you're gonna be exhausted after any conference because it's a lot of information, it's a lot of people, it's travel, whatever. It's weird food, you're not in your normal routine. So having at least one day afterwards to just settle and recharge and process everything that you just took in and learned. Taking a day off after the conference is really, really important. All right, those are my tips. Hopefully they were helpful. If you need any advice, please reach out to me. I'm a conference queen at this point. I love them and they are exhausting at the same time. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.